Chrome or the new Edge beta browser that will automatically redirect any Amazon links to your Amazon Smile page. I remember I would forget to go to Amazon Smile all the time, or I would follow a link and then the money doesn't go through. So check it out. There's a thing that redirects it, so you can always make sure if you buy any inane stuff on Amazon, it will give them some of the proceeds.
That's awesome. Cool. So yeah. All right. I think we can roll credits and then we'll do our recap. Okay, so we are back. We're gonna go ahead and get started with that recap. I'll give us some start there, and we'll fill in the blanks. It's been a while. Yeah. So when we last left the prism, they're of course in Foggy Bottom dealing with the local magical difficulties and political difficulties of that area. So to date, while in Foggy Bottom, they have slayed an ancient green dragon, defeated the colonel, who turned out to be Shademaster Vorsh, Justice's father-like figure. They discovered and kind of interacted with a creature known as the Enigma from a secret plane known as the plane of secrets and knowledge, shadow secrets and knowledge, technically. Um, and they fought a fake lich known as a Boneclaw, and got the assistance of a Nagpaw named Scavenger exalt the Blade of the Vizier and overcome these four arcane guardians and very powerful sorceress Aleps. Um, and that kind of brought us to everything that kind of happened the last episode, which was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
It was like 3 weeks ago, I think.
4 years ago, 20 years. Okay, time has lost all meaning. So let's talk about what happened last episode.
Well, shortly after we, I guess, had taken care of the tower and what was the name of the elemental guardian or something?
Arcane Guardians.
Arcane Guardians. And the Arcane Guardian, uh, we exchanged some words with Scavenger, and they had expressed an interest in helping us when we went to delve into that Sorcerer King's crypts, as they wanted to, I guess, learn their secrets. And I think the group is kind of all over the road in terms of their level of trust of Scavenger right now. And then after that, I think we chilled out for a little bit back at the mansion.
Yeah, we went back to the mansion to decompress, and I know Gilly talked to Glitch and the White Lady, I believe. Or
There's no glitch right now.
that's
I went.
right. Never
Gilly.
mind.
Gilly went with. Gilly went with Justice to talk to the white lady.
I'm off by like a week.
It's all good. But before, like on our way back, we did some shopping to prep for our fight with the Song of Sorrows.
Very important.
Yeah.
So we're loaded.
And one of the things Gilly got was more things for truth seeing salve.
It's pretty clutch.
Because we found out one of the things that this guy can do is see and hop back and forth into the ethereal plane. So that's really fun. It's really fun. It's fun.
Fun is a word.
Fun.
You sure
This is
can.
okay.
Fine.
Yeah, then we then went and talked. What's her name? The white lady.
The lady in white, yeah.
The lady in white. Went and talked to her and secured her help whenever we do end up going and trying to deal with that very powerful foe, which I thought was pretty clutch.
Yep, she agreed to help you using her silver sickle and the threads of fate and her healing powers that she uses, and her ability to kind of, just help, really, being an archfey of legend. It was a pretty good conversation, and then the conversation kind of got brought around to Mr. Finkelstein, who had sent a bounty hunter after two of the characters, Gilly and Selena. And Selena cast Dream, is it, on Mr. Finkelstein?
Yep. And I didn't plan for any of that. So on the fly, we took Mr. Finkelstein to the Smoking Lady's Void Pie Shop, since it's been eaten by the Void. And hi, you're cute. But
He's like, you're gonna talk to me? I'm talking right back.
The instant mute. Hey.
Dog parents, y'all understand, I swear. And so took him to the Smoking Lady's Pie Shop because old tricks, and had a conversation with him that left with us saying that we would come to hell or get to Gehenna to speak with him again, but no promises on when. As far as I remember, I don't think I made him any promises except that he would get his comeuppance, but he doesn't think Selena's a threat, so that doesn't really mean anything.
And I believe we ended pretty much with the dream. Things are happening in Roll20, okay. A little Kraken, what? Okay. So we ended there with the dream sequence, and we pick back up in the town of Foggy Bottom. Believe y'all are going to be doing an extended rest, a long rest, excuse me.
Yes.
Yep.
So we can cut to the next morning then. And Prism, what do you want to do?
Whenever we're all together, Gilly has thoughts to share.
Sure.
But if anyone has things to do before that, Gilly's probably up trying to help make coffee or something.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and share your thoughts at breakfast, I say.
Did you guys know that I had reached out to Mr. Finkelstein? I can't remember if that was a group decision or I just reached out.
I think it was a group decision because we discussed whether I should use sending.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I was like, I can't use sending unless we use his card, and also it's limited, so you decided to do Dream because it was a better way to have an actual communication discussion.
Gotcha. Thank you for jogging my memory.
Yep. Did anybody have anything before we have breakfast together?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So, I was thinking, I know we said that we would go and, joke it out with the Song of Sorrows, today. But hear me out. When we fought Sindrissa, right? That was her name, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
She did this lovely dispel magic on, some of the things that we had up on ourselves.
Yeah, that was definitely not great.
Our lovely buffs. And I was thinking, maybe whoever is going to get this true seeing, maybe we should prepare in case someone tries to dispel that.
How would you suggest we do that? Other than a counterspell or something?
Well, I could use Glyph of Warding, and we could put the counterspell in that.
That is quite a good idea.
I thought about it last night, but I didn't have the spell slots to do it, so...
I think that would be a wise investment.
Otherwise, we could just risk it and say, hope that they don't dispel it.
Yeah, I'd say that at this point, that's probably not a risk we want to take.
Right.
Better be safe than sorry. Especially with the powerful spell like True Seeing, we definitely don't want to lose that.
Indeed. That could be the end against the powerful Sorcerer King.
Thankfully, that's a spell that unless you announce it, they shouldn't be able to immediately see that it's there, right?
Well, I mean, things like being able to, what's the spell? Detect magic, and knowing that someone can see you because they are looking at you when you're not supposed to be able to be seen are like two big dead giveaways.
Yeah, he might be able to. We might get the drop on him a bit at first, but once he sees that we can see him and attack him, he'll probably try something. I mean, if he's a lich, he's definitely some amount of powerful mage or bard.
We could also greater invisibility whoever has the true sight. You can't see what you can't see. Plus the Glyph of Warding gives us 2 levels of keeping it together. Plus counterspell, 3 levels of keeping it together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the counterspell would be in the Glyph of Warding.
I think that she's saying that they also have counterspell.
So
4 layers of...
No, if the Glyph of Warding gets used, the invisibility gets dropped, and then we have another issue where they try to dispel it a 3rd time. We can counterspell it again.
That's not how that works. So the Glyph of Warding, you put counterspell in the Glyph of Warding. So if someone tries to use dispel magic on that person who has the true seeing up, then counterspell will go off. It doesn't do anything to any invisibility. Because
no,
the
I'm
person
talking about
isn't
over the
actually
course of 3 or 4
casting the spell.
turns. Mechanically.
So if somebody's invisible, they won't be able to cast dispel magic on them until they drop the invisibility.
Actually, that's not true. You don't actually have to see it to cast dispel magic.
Correct. Oh, hey, I also wanted to mention that we're 5 followers away. Sorry, completely. I forgot. We're 5 followers away from 800 followers on Twitch. Just wanted to mention that. Yeah.
Woo!
And Joe Kim, thanks for following. Sorry, just wanted to mention that. So yeah, definitely all good things. Glyph of Warding, counterspell, awesome. Invisibility, good. Definitely greater invis on someone is good. Those are all good things.
If these Sorcerer Kings are as powerful as we now understand them to be, I do not think that taking the time to exert some extra caution is overkill.
Song of Sorrows isn't quite a Sorcerer King, but yes.
Ah.
Well, Vukra is the Sorcerer King.
Got it.
Yeah. But the Song of Sorrows is a lieutenant to the general of the greatest Sorcerer King that ever lived, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like
It's still all not great.
Yeah, it's super not good.
So what does that entail?
The glyph of warding is it's like it's a prep spell. It's like a minute or something to cast, and it'll take a little bit of money. Is all.
Understood.
And then it lasts for 24 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours.
Till dispelled or triggered.
Wow.
Yeah. It's an interesting spell. Is the glyph cannot, the object cannot be moved or whatever. But I generally let people cast it on scrolls, rings, and things. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I think that they added that later.
Yeah. Costs 200 GP is all. And it's an hour to cast. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And then True Sight, how long does it last?
An hour.
Okay.
And it costs a little bit of money. True Seeing, I think, is what the spell's called.
Yeah, and it's I already bought the ingredients. It's 25 GP worth of ingredients.
Not bad. Yeah.
It lasts
an
an
action
hour.
to cast, an hour. Divination. Those are kind of the relevant pieces. At 6th level. Oof.
Then I think that it is a wise investment.
Absolutely. Who do we think would benefit the most from it? I would say probably Justice or Gilly.
Someone who can counterspell should have it up.
Agreed.
Because we can't this is a problem we've run into a lot. You can't counterspell something you can't see.
Exactly.
So maybe Sevilius.
Either Sibelius or me, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just worried if I'm up there drawing his eye, acting as a distraction.
Would this be something where we would want fairy fire so that we can see stuff that isn't there?
That could help. Yeah. Although if he's in the ethereal plane, I don't know, does fairy fire work?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, but if they're on this plane, I mean, do we expect them to be on the ethereal plane?
Yes, we do. Which
Yeah.
is why true seeing is essential, because true seeing can see into the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing we have right now that I'm aware of that can.
Yeah.
It is said that some of my order can actually enter the ethereal plane. Unfortunately, I have not unlocked those secrets just yet.
Correct.
Would it be beneficial to try to reach out to one of those people that know? Or try to reach out to your order? Try to teach you those techniques before we try to take him on?
I believe from my understanding that is far beyond my current abilities.
It's like a level 18 monk feature.
Got it.
I was simply filling the conversation with some lore in class.
You were setting up
humor.
what you were foreshadowing for the day that ability becomes important. You use it, and then someone watches this video and they watch the episode 20 episodes later.
Exactly.
Except for he will never get to level 18. Except for
true.
he'll never get to level 18 monk, so it'll actually
That's
never
true.
happen.
That's true.
Matt's running this until level 21, he told
That's
me.
right.
Incorrect.
That's right.
Just so that I can get it.
That's
But
right.
he'll kill you at level 20, so.
Yeah, correct. Also correct.
Thank you, Emma. We can always count on you. We're forever your debt.
Mm.
That moment. Let's double check.
I'll be sure to have like.
Yeah, it's
7
literally
t-shirts
level
on.
18. Yep.
Yep.
It's empty body.
Yep.
So yeah, the ethereal plane is kind of neat. It's a plane that is basically like between all other planes. It's basically, in this world, it's the equivalent of traversing the arresting light. It's being able to see into it helps you affect the creatures that are there. Otherwise, a creature that's like ethereal is essentially invincible. But they can't affect things in the world. So it's like a slip in, slip out technique.
So if one of us had blink, that's really the only way to also be on the ethereal plane, right?
I can't remember if Blink actually calls out the ethereal plane. Yes, it does. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do any of us
I
know how to
don't.
cast Blink?
I do not have it.
I don't know if I have access to that one.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
It is
Otherwise, I've
Also,
got
it's a little unreliable to get in and out of the ethereal plane. It's very up to chance.
sorcerer, wizard,
Yeah.
artificer, trickery, archfey, hexblade.
I don't have it, but I can learn it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I've got plane shift. I can take us to him.
That is true.
Ah, nice.
That's all I've got. But
Now I'm imagining like we're gonna spend plane shift to get there, and then he's just gonna be like, "Okay, I'm going back to the material plane now. Bye.
Yeah.
Correct.
Bye.
Bye."
Correct.
See you later.
You can buy all your spell slots.
Druids don't have access to true seeing, right?
no. No, not this one. Not this kind.
So,
Yeah.
Is it-
Circle.
Are there any items that could anchor him to this plane of existence?
There's a spell that takes way longer than we have. I don't know about items, just
Like a pair of special manacles that you could just slap on him, and he
Like
would
dim-
be unable to.
Like dimensional shackles.
Indeed.
Would we know those exist?
Just looking around.
Someone go ahead and roll me Arcana.
Sure.
I'll roll a Arcana.
I'll assist you.
Go ahead and roll Arcana with advantage, Soph.
Would I have known that from being in the army and dealing
That
with,
roll?
well, not
You
army,
could-
but being in the military?
It did.
You can roll your own separate check if you want,
25.
such as the
Probably
way of
not
D&D.
necessary.
I also
Yeah,
have
definitely
advantage
not
on
necessary.
ink rolls by default now.
Yeah,
From the Blade of the Vizier.
advantage on all ability checks. Oh,
He's
intelligence.
different. He
Intelligence.
doesn't need help.
Because he's got the blade of the
I know
brazier.
this.
25. They're rare, but there are dimensional shackles. Yes, they are a thing.
When we're saying rare on a scale of Cobalt to Kieran,
Well, kobolds aren't rare at all, so write that down.
indeed,
Even though y'all have
That's
never fought one in this world.
that's the one. That's the bottom of the scale.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you include I don't get it. I don't get it.
One very non-rare thing and a very rare thing.
But it's rare, right? I didn't say.
It was scale 1 to 10. 1 being not very
yeah,
rare.
sure, 1 to 10.
being very rare. I was just trying to make a joke. Womp womp.
We're doing
Year
it.
anniversary!
doing great.
Yay!
Anniversary.
Closer to Kieran. It'd run you about 5 to 10,000 gold.
If I'm remembering correctly from what I've heard about these, is that we also need to make sure the creature's incapacitated before we can actually shackle them.
Yep.
Well, that's relatively useless.
Stunning
Yeah, so
incapacitates a
if
creature.
Justice stuns them, would be the one way we could get them on him.
That's slightly less useless. Do we have the liquid funds? Or a wealthy benefactor who would be willing to loan us a pair?
Maybe the lady in white has a pair of dimensional shackles just tucked away.
She
I
does,
think-
but they're for personal use.
I was gonna say,
That's right.
So,
lady in white.
Gilly's making notes.
the colonel was holding a number of high-profile magic users. Does he have anything that we could, if the butler stayed on, or someone from his household that would know supplies, quartermaster kind of person? If there
Brother
was
Thomas
anything-
was the one actually doing things like dispelling things or curing.
Yeah, but if the colonel had, because I'm assuming Brother Thomas didn't know about like the lady in white being imprisoned and
That's true.
being in the basement and that kind of stuff. So if the colonel has anything that would hold a high magic user and potentially disable any of their abilities, we could
Yeah.
take that.
So if we get Colonel Loot dash manacles,
Nope, you sure didn't. But you can try to appeal to the butler. You can also, there's also Mrs. I believe it's Mrs. Pond was the shop owner. So
Mm-hmm.
those are two potential sources. Yeah, but it's true. They have to have some kind of means of detaining the lady in white. They might be able to loan you,
Another person we can
Mrs.
reach
Juniper.
out to, might be a stretch, a bit of a reach, is Professor Vasilio. Um, with him diving through all those ruins and him being an artificer and stuff, he may have come across a pair in his travels.
Indeed. Perhaps we look in our backyard first.
Yeah, obviously. But if we come up empty, it's just another option we have. And then the other thing we have to kind of figure out is, even if we do slay him, um, he's a lich, he's just going to come back. We need to figure out how to find the phylactery.
So that's the part. The lady in white said that he would likely have the phylactery near them, and we could destroy it using an artifact. And I think she said that she had some experience in finding those, right?
That sounds right to
Well,
me.
she has experience with battling the undead, yeah, and finding phylacteries. Yep.
Thunder, acid, or an artifact can break the phylactery.
Did you have any tips for finding it? Any supplies we need to gather ahead of time to be prepared? You talked with her.
Don't recall, Matthew?
What was the question?
Is there any way in particular that she would have said we had to use to find the phylactery? Did she give us any guidance on how to find it?
No,
Supplies, things to be prepared with, stuff like that.
Yeah. Phylacteries are immune to divination magic and immune to spells that try to find them directly. What she said was the thunder is a good way of like clearing things out of an area, like sweeping it until you look like you notice the illusion concealing the item, breaking apart the safe that was
spell
keeping
like
it.
shatter.
Yep, really useful.
Okay.
You just kind of break, kind of blow up everything until you see what's really there, kind of thing.
So Fireball is truly the spell for any occasion.
Yeah, obviously. I mean that's what they teach you in wizard school.
You're also going to have to balance that with the idea of you're going to a school, a time lock school that has precious artifacts. When I say artifacts, I don't mean actual D&D artifacts, relics and material, and journals, and memories.
Would wind have a similar effect to thunder without the damaging properties?
It could help. The main thing is just disturbing an area, right? Like if you're searching for something, how do you go about that without? When you're searching for something that doesn't want to be found, how do you go about that?
Yeah.
Her methods revolved around wartime, right? So she's familiar with thunder. Blow shit up, see what's left standing.
So, just a question. If I were to put something down like spike growth, would it grow around invisible items?
If that item was on the ground, it would not. I think it would just grow under it. Because it's just a ground-based thing.
Got it. Okay. Same thing with Gruid Drove. If I put a Gruid Drove, that's into a building, that would destroy everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Everything except for the thing.
Yep.
The Gruid drove, as we say.
Well, because I was seeing if we could change spike growth to grow in, like, on walls, if assuming like the walls are wooden or have like lichen in them, we could extrapolate on that and then kind of grow spike growth into the room and have it go around all of the artifacts where it doesn't necessarily hurt anything it'll hurt anything that's fleshy, but like any hardwood or resin artifacts wouldn't be, history would probably not be damaged. as long as it wasn't too.
Fairy fire can find invisible objects.
Yeah.
And it's a first level spell, which is a little easier. It won't cover as much area, but
That's a good
But I
point.
think I can move it.
non-destructive.
And it's evocation, and it's not divination.
Yeah, I don't think you can move it. That's a common misconception around fairy fire. But
Would
it is only
Moonbeam-
it's moonbeam that you can move, yeah. But moonbeam I don't think would help. It only affects shape changers. Might keep him from changing form if he has forms, but moonbeam might be. So fairy fire would be very good for finding it. It'd be really good.
Okay.
It's a really good pull.
So, I could probably swap something out for fairy fire.
I mean, I can too. You run out of spell slots faster than I do.
But my two first level warlock slots recharge at a short rest.
Gotcha.
I have more first level slots than probably anybody here because of my warlock levels.
So we have options.
Good.
Well, if the two of us have fairy fire, we can cover twice as much ground too. If we've got to
Exactly,
cover
and
the
then-
whole school. Holy Christ.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And if one of you goes unconscious.
Yeah.
Win one of
Wait,
you.
I almost said win.
Win.
And then I can also put in Thunder Wave. So we can, any place that we don't have to worry about breaking things, I can get a 15-foot cone. Plus Fairy Fire for the breakable stuff.
Thunder.
Do we think that would cover that?
It would help.
Yeah, definitely be a step in the right direction.
Otherwise, I can just set everything on fire. Like, that's also...
Well, that
Sure
is the
can.
simplest solution. That's probably not the best.
True. Do we think we need Heroes Feast going into this? Probably not,
It's-
right?
Well, Song of Sorrows, being like a lich devil sort of undead thing, feels like something that we should use, a feast on, because it probably is going to have fear effects. It's definitely going to have things that are going to be wisdom saves, things that will cause us to die. And the extra hit points is never bad.
Okay.
Yeah, with him being a
And
bard,
being
I
immune to
expect,
poison is probably really good.
with him being a bard, I expect lots of wisdom saves. Lots of mind attacks.
Then I will carry Greater Restoration with me, so I can fix that.
It's also worth noting for finding objects that, you have a rogue monk, who's good at finding things.
So, if the phylactery, when it's hidden, do we think it'll be hidden in such a way that it will also exist in the ethereal plane? Or it'll just be invisible on the material plane?
I think it's one of those like one or the other things. I think fairy fire will only work if it's in the material plane.
Okay.
So true seeing will help us to see anything that's in the ethereal plane, but fairy fire will help us find anything that's invisible.
And then he runs back and forth between ethereal and
Material.
So I know it's divination, but commune with nature, would that give us where there's influence from other planes of existence? Because it's not specifically looking for the phylactery, but looking for the power around it.
I would imagine, well, it is hard for me to speculate, but the feeling that I got from the lady in white was that they are somewhat shielded from such things. It would not how would I put it? They seem mundane when searched for
Well, because
through any type of magic.
I wouldn't be searching for it. I would be searching for its influence on the material plane.
Yeah, because if he's able to jump between the ethereal and material, he can have it close by and hide it in the ethereal plane when nobody can actually damage it or do anything to it. But it's still there.
Would that be a loophole, we think? It would at least give us a center on where he is in the building.
Yeah, you
or
could
within
definitely.
3 miles.
The difficulty detecting the ethereal plane's presence is it's kind of always so close, but it's definitely worth a shot. Yeah, there's also there's the ethereal in mechanics terms. There's the ethereal plane, then there's the deep ethereal plane. But yeah, you could try. If he's bringing it in often and traversing a lot, it would definitely probably cause a disturbance that was recognizable. Probably
Well,
a
then
very good use of a spell.
Interesting.
Because we can stop out 300 feet from it, and I can sit and do that for 10 minutes before we go into the building, and that should give me the whole building. If I use all of my concentration just to see the planes of existence, and whatever we think the bard is made of, fiend, elemental, undead, whatever that
Dead.
looks like.
Definitively undead, I think. Right?
Yeah.
He's an undead devil.
Okay, so undead fiend. Those
Yeah.
things then. And I would assume that I think it's safe to assume there's going to be traps and maybe other things we have to fight through. Maybe? I would assume at least traps, right? But being able to see other creatures. So I think it's, if you are able to, look for both undead and fiend.
Yep. Undead, fiend, and influences from the ethereal plane or just other planes of existence. I can do that.
I think that's a good set.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm consistently amazed by the powers that we're able to bring to bear.
We've been
This is
at this for a bit of time, so
We
This is
learn
my
very
surprised
quickly
face.
from our mistakes, so.
Some of us have. Some of us accidentally reattuned to a cursed dagger after coming back from the dead for a little bit.
Glad you said it, not me.
I think you've all had your fair share of dagger moments, but
Mhm.
Yes, well, that's, yep.
D&D.
So tomorrow we attempt to procure shackles that can hopefully anchor this creature to the material plane and potentially the goblet that is required for Hero's Feast.
I think we still have one goblet.
You're gonna do that today, though, right?
Okay.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
breakfast.
this is breakfast. This is breakfast, you know.
Woo! We've call it a day here, folks.
You know what? We've had a good conversation. We're gonna have samosas. We're gonna hang out in the back.
Mimosas.
Mimosas!
Samosas and mimosas.
Okay,
Have you ever had a
alright.
samosa?
I don't know if those would pair well together.
You know my food allergies basically say I can't have samosas.
Gilly too?
Hey, Gilly, sure, Gilly's not samosas, alright, jeez. Wow.
Oh, okay. I had to look up what a samosa was. Weird.
They're delightful.
Caramel delights. Oh no, wrong kind of samosa.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you're talking about the.
not the
I'm
cookies.
thinking-
That's a Samoa. Or no.
We're gonna
Samoa's
have
an Islander.
Have a
samosas.
conversation about the nuances between different foods that have very similar names.
What are those
And
cookies
mimosas.
called?
The caramel delights.
Samoas.
Oh, they are
I-
called Samoa. Okay.
They're called caramel delights in my world. It's just everyone else calls them Samoas or samosas or whatever they are.
Gotcha.
I think we
Anyway,
should talk about this for another 10 minutes.
We definitely should.
I mean those
2
little
hours.
the little Indian pocket foods, samosas, are also delicious. So I'm okay
Mm.
with this.
Yeah.
I like
Have you had? Yeah.
pocket foods.
That's what
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
call
do.
them pocket foods now.
Wow.
Do you think that their local restaurant makes samosas? Is that a local delicacy?
So anyway, so I'm assuming we're not gonna need water walk or water breathing.
Probably not, I would hope.
Oh, did I mention it was the school is
mention
known
it's
for its water
underwater?
polo? Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's the submerged mountain. We get there and the mountain is just underwater.
What mountain?
Wherever the thing is. I know roughly.
Vineyard. It's a vineyard.
He has no idea
In a
what we're
swamp.
doing. It's
We're
fine.
Whatever.
in a low-lying swamp.
There's
It's
no
a
water
very mountainous
here.
country, but there's no mountains near here.
Justice, like
The
Chase,
mountains all
has no
sunk
idea what
underwater.
we're about to do.
It's been like 3 weeks.
We're going for Atlantis.
I frankly crossed my wires with the whole going to talk to the Sphinx thing. I know the school now. I remember.
Yeah, there's mountains due west. You're going east. You can take a look at our map.
Sure can.
It's a good map. I like the
It's
map.
a good mount.
So y'all are in this city. Okay, I can't ping. There it is. Y'all are in this city,
Yeah.
and so the vineyards. So you have the tendril. Be like roughly. It's not actually this far away because you know the perspective dots and stuff. But it's like this way.
Yeah.
It's this way. It's east.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I put too many railroads going into Foggy Bottom. I don't think there's that many railroads going into that city.
Listen, I just drew what you gave me.
The verisimilitude is completely broken, Matthew.
Yeah, there's
I don't
more,
think there's
there's
a-
more railroads going into Foggy Bottom
Yeah.
than there is Gish, which is supposed to be the capital city.
Are we
Well, that
the
is
ones-
intentional. That is actually intentional. The idea that the non-human capitals don't connect to Gish. Little structural problems there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Would you believe that this small out of the way town is the hub of of the rail trade?
Midrim is, but
All
Midrim has
the-
less connections. Yeah,
all-
I don't think. Well, no,
Madrid's
those are all
got the
correct.
same.
Those are all correct. We're fine. We're
I
fine.
mean-
How are you?
Bowls of mosquitoes are their number one export.
I think Gish and Midrim should be connected, maybe. But no, I like it. Okay, we're fine. We're gonna edit this map actually instead of
Live.
doing the show. Yeah.
In real
Fine.
time.
You pull out GIF.
Or Inkscape.
Inkscape, yeah.
Right.
I'll do it in paint. It'll be just as good.
Instead of me doing any of this work, we'll just have Chase do it in paint. We'll do it live right now. That's what.
It's a comedy show. Here we go.
Happy 2-year stream anniversary. This is the content you want, right?
We could just
Yep.
freehand draw the railroad and in roll 20.
Let me pull a little.
God.
This is a school. I'm gonna draw a little school. Cool.
So okay, so to circle on back.
God, oh my God, why?
It's a school. It's a penis.
What is happening?
He drew the school.
I drew a school.
This is
Look-
what I get for not paying attention, and I'm
Look
just
at-
trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Look at the head on that school.
Oh my god.
It looks like a ghost with flappy arms or a penis with a really big mushroom.
That's what we call it, chode. It's like
You know what? I've been asked every week if this is a mature channel that we can swear on.
It is.
I just need to point them back to this
correct.
right here.
It just depends on the show.
We
Depends if
always
I'm on it.
have mature content filter on because we've learned the hard way. It always needs to be on.
At least when I'm on.
Sure does.
So yeah, there's the school. I'll be doing all the graphics for the channel from now on.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we worried about him escaping?
Yes.
Should we ask Brother Thomas to put one of those bubbles, if he can, over the school?
That keeps those things out, not in.
Can you
What
turn it
bubble are
inside
you
out?
talking
Would it?
about?
The one that you had to have, Colonel 123 to get through. That was
Yeah.
around.
I had to have it to get in.
Like
Yes,
a
but
field
could
of
you make it
protection.
so that you can't get out either?
Takes 24 hours to make that bubble.
Well, we technically have 24 hours.
You would almost certainly there would be a counter-offensive almost 100% of the time.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Sure would
Never
be.
mind.
Or he'd just leave in the meantime.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That a hollow spell? Okay, I'm out.
I'm gone.
Well,
Take my phylactery and dip.
It's time for me to be
See you
hitting
later,
Dusty.
loser.
It's time for me to be catching one of the 4 railways in and out of this town.
Bastard. I've lived in this Peter school long enough.
Who thought the paint it brought pink?
It was a night school for prostitutes.
Yes.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There isn't.
Nothing wrong with that.
Runaway train never come
Go
back.
It's just full of sex work.
Yeah. Cannon.
Sevelius has fond memories of it.
Oh no.
That's where he learned. That's where all the blade dancers go.
Right.
So, sword. What is it? Blade song. What sword? What are you?
A blade singer.
Thank
Sword
you.
sword blanger.
Sword songer. Sword songer.
Sword flippy doodad.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Hooter cheater.
Oh my god.
Subscribe to this, you cowards.
Content
That's right,
people want.
subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe.
Yeah,
Give subscriptions.
we're 5 followers away from 800 followers, and by golly, we deserve every one of them.
Crawling our way out of the muck.
Yeah. Oh, I think I smeared my school on accident. Oh no, we're good.
Oh. Yeah, now it's got like a.
Well, it does. Yeah, it has like a weird little trail.
It's the ghost tail. It's the
Is
ghost
that
tail.
wrong
Ghost
though?
tail.
But
It's the
it
in-ground
doesn't have it
pool.
on my
Usually-
screen. It just has it on the overlay. That's so weird.
Now it looks more like a ghost.
In the machine.
Spooky.
Well, perhaps we should go have a conversation with the butler about those shackles before we go into the sex school.
That would make sense. No. I mean, we wouldn't want to go into that school without shackles.
Indeed. If this is a stealth mission, we could also procure leather cat suits, but I do not believe that this would be necessary.
Did someone say cat suits? And I have my cloak of many fashions. I'll just change it.
I was about to say I use mask of many faces and I'm instantly in a cat suit.
Hold on, let me go upstairs into my dresser. I've got a couple.
I'll use my my ability to change my form, and I will also be in a cat suit. Picture Catwoman's from Batman Returns. You know, with all the stitching and all that. That one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Heels.
Good Batman movie.
Justices in heels?
I mean, why not? They're like I fight and kick. They're like little blades on the bottom of my feet for
Okay.
kicking.
He's not just in heels. He's in stilettos.
Yes, they are.
That
All
are
right,
literally-
so, huh?
literally made out of stilettos.
That's right. Stiletto being a type of dagger.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Let's flay out this joke even further.
Yeah.
Okay, so the the Prism gather themselves, mythic heroes that they are, and head over to the colonel's former colonel's estate, where the butler now resides, and well as keeping the estate, maintaining it. You are not met with any hostilities or any extraordinary, reactions. The butler seems to be doing his job, overseeing the cleaning and doing that kind of thing. Bossing around the servants, that kind of thing. You are standing in the kind of welcome room, the kind of sitting room area, and he comes in. He says, "Oh, sorry to keep the esteemed Prism waiting. I was busy seeing to the matters of the household. How can I help you?"
We were wondering if you knew if the colonel had a pair of handcuffs, so to say, shackles, that he happened to be keeping around or stuff.
Shackles?
Yeah, if you've seen him with anything like that.
We have a number of mechanisms used to restrain intruders. Yes.
These would be special shackles meant to restrain some of the most powerful spellcasters. Perhaps he used them on someone such as the Lady in White.
Ah, the mechanisms retrieved from the Duke's estate.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, there is a cage and shackles, yes. Cage is rather large and cannot be, of course, escorted very easily, but the shackles are highly mobile.
Would we be able to take a look at them? Make sure they're what we're looking for?
To, I dare not refuse. he says, you there. And he gestures over to a footman and he says, go retrieve the enchanted shackles. After the footman departs, there's this kind of awkward silence as you all stand there with the butler. So, what's new in the 48 hours since I've seen you?
Not too much. Tower blew up.
The tower.
We're just doing things that no one's been able to do for, how long? How long was that tower like that?
We fixed it.
100, well, the tower has been there since anyone can remember. The vineyard's been frozen in time for 150 years.
Yeah, we're working on that one right now. The whole frozen
Nice.
time thing.
Great. Be great to make some more wine again.
It will be. It'll be nice. It's been quite a while since we've tasted it.
Yes. So, quite obviously, the shackles would be very helpful in our endeavor to liberating the orchard and clearing out the school.
I'm glad that you are all able to assist the once prince in his royal duties. It's good to have the influence of a great household attending to the people once again, like things are supposed to be around here.
More than happy to assist.
Excuse me, have you ever studied under the monk school of shadow?
Sorry, the what?
The schools of shadow. With all that shade that you were tossing just now, I could have sworn that you were an apprentice or an associate.
I am not familiar with any of the monasteries of the wider world of monks. Although I did encounter a woman once who could hurl balls of sunlight. I thought that was interesting.
Indeed. A different school. Well, you are a natural.
Thank you.
Looking her just
And then,
quiet.
he must be having some trouble. And then after a few seconds, the door opens. Here they are. And the young elf carries the dimensional shackles over to whoever asked for him. I think it was Justice or so. I can't remember who
Yeah.
asked for him.
I'll take him and inspect him over. Cast Identify if I need to, or if my knowledge of them would pretty much tell me they were magical dimensional shackles.
Yep, they are literally dimensional shackles, a la basic rules in D&D Beyond.
Perfect. So if you don't mind, we're going to borrow these for a little bit. We'll return them to your collection once we're done with them. I can't imagine we need them for more than a couple days.
I mean, I can think of a few instances in which they'd be useful.
I mean,
The
true.
way I see it, you can have them.
All right. Would you like to be compensated in some sort of fashion?
No, there's no need. They were used to imprison the Lady in White. You lot liberated her. It seems only fair that you keep them.
Well, very much appreciated. Thank you greatly.
So does all of the Colonel's grounds and fortune fall to you now that he is no longer among us?
Oh, heavens, no. I would become very influential. It's interesting. It's actually not clear anymore. Prior to the establishment, oh, I'm so glad you asked about this. I've been wanting to tell someone. Prior to
Lord Tom.
It's like I
Should we
can read
find
his
somewhere to
mind.
sit down? More comfortable.
yes.
Basically, does Sevelius get his gardens back? Like, I need to
Yeah.
know.
So he says, prior to the establishment of the Circle of the Red and Gold, the matter would have fallen to the Committee on Heraldry. Of course, the Duke would have gotten first pass, but they would have at least notified the committee. And then the committee would have interceded had they wanted to deal with an emergent or federated problem, right? But the Circle of Red and Gold, the law that established the Circle of Red and Gold, abolished the Committee on Heraldry. So technically, the matter of who this estate belongs to is now going to be would normally then go to the Duke, but since the Duke is, shall we say, in absentia, or dead, as it were, and there is no Duke, the matter then falls to the Circle of Red and Gold, which is headed by a Vorogesh. So, as far as anyone here is concerned, Modru's deciding the fate of our estate. Isn't that wonderful?
Or,
Or we could say no to that.
correct, and you could join such allied cities such as Bridgeton and make your own rules.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes. That is much more agreeable to the men who work this estate than anything else.
I'm glad that we have, we do not like to make a habit of coming into towns and completely changing their leads of succession and
We're just
leadership,
offering
but-
you a
When
better
their
option.
succession is like a Vorigesh, then I think the answer is yes, we do. Like,
of
to
course
do
I'm
that.
saying it's
He's being
We-
coy. They're being
we-
coy, excuse me.
we take no pleasure in it, but we will do. So does this mean that under our own rules, and I'll look over to Svilius, that the lands would be returned to their rightful owner?
Yes, on the issue of derelict, recently subsumed yet derelict lands of neglect, we would be more than happy to rid the estate of the debt and burden that it would take to restore those estates to their function. You can have your rotted hulls. Excuse me, sorry.
You're going to have to repeat yourself. I didn't catch
Mhm.
that last line.
Yeah, it wasn't very clear.
The estate that has fallen into disrepair can be restored to Sevilius.
Along with his vineyards, correct?
Of course.
I mean, the vineyards were always my family, so it would go back to my family. This estate, though, I don't believe belonged to my family, right? Because we had the manor.
Yeah, not this manor, not this proper manor.
Yeah,
No. He's talking about the estate as a financial entity.
got it.
Like, yeah, the lands and all the finances intended, which is a bunch of debt right now.
Eh. Once we get
And-
those vineyards up and running, 10,000 gold a pop.
Haven't seen any moon apple. I haven't seen any of that. We have to control the supply because
Correct. Because
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you mass produce, the price will drop.
precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
a pocket druid. And just
Yeah.
grow those seeds.
The price will go through the roof once people realize it's a usable item but limited supply, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And not an antique.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Um,
And this man, kind of gestured to the grounds that we're standing on. To whom does it belong?
Oh, this was ceded to the colonel, who, of course, is not real, but was ceded to the colonel fair and square. So it does belong to his family and his estate. But it now is property of the dukedom of Presta because he has no living heir.
Understood.
Yes. And there's no viscountcy because the colonel was technically we don't use too many formal noble titles, but the viscount was technically the colonel himself. So, hi, can I help you? My dog, y'all, she's wildin'. Look at her.
This is what happens when you use a couch for a chair.
Yeah, I know, but I love her.
I love her so much. She's so cute.
And Inara over here is very upset that I'm not on a couch right now.
That's so funny.
And Aris
Sasha's-
finally decided to sleep.
Nice. Ginger keeps pacing back and forth. I'm trying to figure out what she wants. I think it's just maybe she might want pet, but I think it's because I'm talking a lot. She gets nervous sometimes. Anyway,
I love that dog.
yeah, she's a really good dog. The butler says, "Does that satisfy your inquiry, or did you have other questions?"
Well, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best use for some of these excess grounds here. You've been here probably the longest most recently. If you could invigorate this particular town and economy, what would you put here?
The town, I'm not sure. I do think that one of our stronger assets are the water, the waterways, and the work that goes on in there, and the shop. Mrs. I don't know her very well, but the Colonel always prioritized the docks and Vivian and Mrs. Stoop as valuable assets. He talked. That was why the Sindrissa and him secretly warred over the matter and the area. And as far as this estate, I actually we employ over 200 upstanding citizens of this dukedom, and I think it would make a great venue for what it is good at, throwing parties and the like.
I'd say that's a fantastic use for it then. You're welcome to maintain it as well as house any of the guards or anyone else here that's currently staying here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of guards, what do we need to do about whatever lingers of the Dragon Guard? Do you know if they've dispersed?
They ran for the hills once the dragon that they guarded, and they were sworn to, was slain. They are no longer a threat to Foggy Bottom. And apparently, Sindrissa never had any children, any brood. So she had no brood god to speak of.
Well, that's good to know.
I mean, there may be one stray dragon plotting in a dark cave somewhere, but we haven't seen anything, so.
Well, there always is.
Lay down.
Okay.
Hi.
So, if you don't mind keeping an eye and when we check in, letting us know how Foggy Bottom is doing. And of course, if anyone tries to move in, it would be untoward to a more independent Foggy Bottom. Would it be okay to reach out to you to see how things are going? And would you mind being our eyes and ears within reason? We're not asking anything untoward.
I don't mind. Along with inheriting, so to speak, watching over, practicing stewardship over the estate, its guards, footmen, maids, cooks, etc., apparently the spies that were working for the Colonel throughout the land have turned to me for guidance and continued employment.
Are they trustworthy?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We may be able to-
Opportunistic, financially motivated.
We might be able to find a place for them.
Absolutely.
One of our friends will be in touch. Maybe split that cost between whatever the Colonel's estate would have been at and some outside forces. We don't want to drain what estate is here without it making any money. So want to make sure that those resources do not go to waste or get flipped to the wrong side.
The estate is largely supported by financial investments in other regions. The revenue that this estate generates is actually well intact.
Oh, That's good to know. Makes me a little less worried about leaning on it a little bit to keep such a network intact, but it should be mutually beneficial.
I think so too. The elves here don't want to. I don't think, when push comes to shove, I don't think a lot of the elves here are going to want to side with a Forogesh.
Yeah.
This time around.
Working for a guy who knows a gal who knows a person who works for a Forogesh is one thing, but answering directly to him is going to be a bridge too far.
That's good to hear. And I'll look to the rest of the group. Are we okay with bringing that asset into the fold?
I think so. I think it'd be beneficial.
Not really my area of expertise, so I'll defer judgment to the people who know more about that.
Perhaps we can do some of our own reconnaissance and weed out any problematic elements, but I think on the surface it seems fine.
I know a few people who are very good at doing just that thing. And we can turn this over to them, unless we really want to take the time and effort to call these in and have those conversations.
We're gonna do the interviews live on stream. We're gonna do
That's
each
right.
one of them.
It could be the first time on Dice Priority.
Exactly.
Reviews.
An interview
Live.
episode sure was.
Good thing I've got my cat suit on already. Already.
We'll hold them in the college, in the School of Sex Work, just like.
Perfect. I was thinking we could turn that over to Brahm and the Friends.
Yeah.
Between Alric, Brahm, and the Friends.
And JJ, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Heathens Collective.
That's what I was
and
thinking.
JJM.
Yeah.
The butler is going to say, well, since I might be being brought into the fold, I have a few requests.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yes. The fate of... I've been, in the short time that I've had, which seemed like a month, I've thought a lot about my role going forward, and not necessarily for me, but as a steward of this estate, and as a protector for our way of life here. Waldo and... what's the other twin's name?
Alta...
Annette?
Hold on.
Alda.
Eterna.
Kidding.
Waldo and Eterna.
Eterna or
Etrena? Attrena. Etrena.
That's right, Etrena.
Atreyu.
Yeah, Etrena and Waldo. If one of them is going to be even a temporary inheritor of the estate before we decide what's to happen, I would like to arrange a meeting between those two. Myself.
I think that would be good.
Yes, myself representing the tendrils, as it were, and the associated families of money here. And of course, your factional representative, whose name would be...
JJ?
Wonderful. Mr. the esteemed lawyer and barrister JJ.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I would definitely want to see where their alliances lay before we hand over anything to them.
The alliance, the allegiances they have, should be the Presta first.
It should.
And any kind of alliance we're forging between these desperate lands can come after that. That's where I stand.
That is absolutely agreeable.
Excellent. Good. I'll send you send a message to your representative. We'll be in touch.
Perfect.
Well, have fun with your manacles.
We will.
We always do.
Perhaps we should hose them off before we, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Prestidigitation right now. Look at how they sparkle.
Years of dried lube just coming up.
All gone now.
Farewell, Prism. I hope the next I see you, it's because we're presiding over a council of peace.
Us as
Absolutely.
well.
I should hope so. We have a long road ahead of us to get there, though.
Indeed.
All right.
He escorts you to the door, opens it, and says, "Good luck."
Do we feel like he was hiding anything throughout that conversation at all?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Okay.
Gilly thinks it's all fine here.
That's a 21.
Very good. Hiding something, I would say, this is a man who's been given, he has attitudes towards the way he thinks should be here, and I think he's now understanding, you're getting the sense he's now understanding that he has a opportunity here to see the way he sees things come to light, because there's literally no one who can run the Colonel's estate like he can. There's no one to challenge him.
And I don't remember, and I apologize, this is a player question. Is he an elf or a warforged or...
The butler is an elf.
Okay.
Almost all the NPCs are either Furbolg elves or Rivetons in Foggy Bottom.
Perfect. So when I think of him hiding something or looking for that next move to potentially be power hungry, it's just to keep the elves and like Foggy Bottom intact, not necessarily
intact and autonomous.
Okay.
He's kind of seeing now that there's no one to rule over them if they take this opportunity. Does that make sense?
So kind of like what we set up in the glide, but for Foggy Bottom. Yep. Okay.
Probably not a councilship, but we'll see.
Well, basically he's not looking to be the only power in town. He's looking to potentially share that power with others.
Yeah.
And if we leave him here, especially with someone like Brother Thomas, who may or may not be redeemed, we're not going to come back to like a different wasteland.
Right.
Okay.
That's your hope, and you believe that is the case.
Good.
We come back and it's just like there's like a massive dark tower. He like red lightning bolts shooting down to it.
Correct.
They figured out how to rebuild the Sorcerer Tower, man.
Like 10 times worse.
Isengard all over again.
That's right.
Correct. Call him Sharky.
Okay. We have about 30 minutes left here on this stream, folks, because we're only doing a 2-hour stream tonight. Just a little note there.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we've got our shackles.
Mm-hmm.
What other preparations do we think we need throughout the rest of this day?
Honestly, that went much better than I'd hoped.
Yeah, that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Not only did we get the shackles with virtually no pushback, but he seemed pretty open to our ideas.
Yeah.
Did we want to... How long does that glyph of warning last until it's dispelled?
Until it's triggered or dismissed.
Did we want to set that up before we forget about it?
Yeah, we can do that. Did we decide on who's getting the true seeing, though?
I don't think we did.
That's the deciding factor. It's whoever's getting the true seeing. And that we should do the glyph tonight, so that I can re-up my 3rd level spell slot, because those are important spell slots for me.
Is there anything else that needs to go in the ring while we're at it?
I think the only thing that might be depleted from it would be a shield. So if you could throw a shield in there just for safe measure.
Sure.
Because
I'll hold out my hand for the ring.
I'm pretty sure it still has Revivify, and it still has Feather Fall from when we were worried about falling from something. Just remember it's still in there.
The void, something.
Something or other. Thank you.
And then did we want to do Heroes Feast tonight? if we're going to be going off to adventure tomorrow.
Probably.
How long
Or
does
we
it
could
last?
do Keel's
24
face for
hours.
breakfast.
Yeah, but then I lose a 6th level spell slot before we go.
Ah.
Right.
Yeah. So if we do it the night before we take our long rest,
It
then
definitely
I
does
can
give
get
us
that
more
spell
time.
slot back. And it's 24 hours.
Big old
I'm
late,
fine with that.
big old late dinner. You can have a lot of indigestion,
I was just thinking
a lot of
heartburn.
heartburn.
Take
Yep.
disadvantage on every roll.
That's right. Correct.
Why did they give me an esophagus? I don't even have a
Or I have lesser restoration. That'll cure it right off. It's fine. I think my other
Roll for
question.
heartburn.
Oh, to be in your 30s.
Would Gilly be able to teach Sibelius true singing?
Yeah, sure. But that's still gonna take. It's still gonna follow the rules for it's writing down a spell. I forget what that is. Is it
Hold on.
50 GP per? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta
And then
look it up because it's been
there's
a long.
There's a
time.
time factor too. We should probably have enough time, but yes. Yeah, sure.
If we could have true seeing on both of us, that would be really great.
Kind of treat it like learning from a scroll. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Copy a spell into a book. First level or higher. I think it's a while though. It's
Per
50... per level. It's 2 hours and 50 GP per hour or per level.
per
so
level.
what? 6th level. So
300 GP in 12 hours. There it is.
yeah.
Perfect.
So we could spend the rest of the day doing that.
This is like morning. We
Roll for montage.
even Rocky had montage. Montage.
Wow. Okay. 'Cause I mean, I'm down for doing that. Are you up for using one of your 6th level spells tomorrow for true seeing?
You're fading into the background.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Okay, then we can do glyph of warding on both of us just in case.
Perfect. Yeah, that would make sense. We might need to buy more components for true seeing, unless you got extras.
I have enough for 2,
Oh, okay.
so we can re-up later. I
Awesome.
wanted to make sure that after I used mine tomorrow, I still had 1 left, just in case we needed it later. But we already have all the components we need, so.
Well, no time like the present. I'll try to learn how you cast your bard spells and stuff. A little different than wizard spells, but I'm sure I'll catch on.
I already have to sing, see? I can see clearly now.
I can see.
Right?
No. Clear.
No,
No.
Little flat there.
Little flat. Little flat. Sure.
Perhaps if you could sing it with the blade. Isn't that, try that. Try
That's
that.
a good idea, Justice.
I think you have advantage on performance checks when you're doing Blade Song, don't you?
I do.
All right,
So
let's see
I'll
it.
probably do that and try that.
Roll performance.
Here we go.
I love this.
With advantage, I
roll.
guess.
I don't know if that rolled.
No anxiety. No performance anxiety here.
That's right. That's right.
20, natural 20.
Nat 20, 25.
Holy fuck.
I didn't even need the advantage.
You
Wow.
definitely learn the spell. You learn it very effectively.
So I go into Blade Song and using the blade, I twirl it around to kind of like match the tone of what Gilly is singing to do that.
It's awesome.
I'll use dancing lights to just kind of make it look like there's a little like stage on him while we're doing it. Yay! That was wonderful, Sibelius.
I'm probably gonna need to borrow some gold from someone for some supplies. I'm a bit tapped.
I would make sure you had what you needed.
Perfect. And I'll like draw down like the different forms and stuff in my spell book instead of writing down like incantations and stuff. So, like the motions. Do it.
We're
While
gonna be
they're
using
doing
2 instances of Glyph of Warding. So that's 400 GP worth of diamond dust. So, checking what we've got left in terms of diamonds. Yeah, that leaves us with just 300 left. From what I've got. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. Never mind. Sorry. Just checking to make sure we had enough diamonds for a revivify if we needed them.
Oh yeah.
No, it's you get down and you're like, oh, you're 5 short.
Because you've never even tapped into your.
That's right. I still have a whole patch of diamonds I haven't tapped into.
You've never tapped into the, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And we know this school that we're going to, is it populated with people, right?
It is not. It would have been cleared out during the war. The only thing it's populated, and it's frozen in time. The only thing it's populated with are people's traumas.
Yeah. And it's frozen in time, and do we have to break through that to get into it? Or was it frozen in time like the vineyards that were haunted?
Like the vineyard. It's definitely going to have a lot of magical protections and stuff, but yeah, it's frozen in time like the vineyard was.
Okay. Justice, are you doing anything while they're prancing?
I'll glance up from the 7-year codex that I was thumbing through. I'm like, only this, but it can wait. Is there something that you would like to do?
Would it be useful for us to go take a look at least the edges of this building? This space that we're looking at? We haven't gotten some good old-fashioned reconnaissance in recently. I miss the more simpler days.
You can always do those things.
Sneaking into orphanages and murdering their oppressors. Those were the good old days.
Well, that wasn't what I had in mind. But that's definitely one of the many, many instances. Yeah.
We can certainly do that. I think, yes, that would be fine. We should just exercise caution as to not tip our hands.
Oh, of course, but I thought that we could sneak out that direction, and if it was safe, at least suss out what kind of magical traps we'd be coming into, and maybe feel what kind of terrain we're looking at, and see if it changes between today and tomorrow. Because even though it's locked in time, I don't know what he has control over. Like Syndrissa, where it was different from day to day.
I would be open to that. That is fine. It should not take 12 hours.
No, a couple hours there, a couple hours back, I'm sure.
Of course. We shall let the others know where we're going while they're in their, like, what is that thing? Doing an interpretive dance of true sight.
That's right.
We're going to go.
Very, very lovely light dance.
Mm-hmm.
You do fussy, 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 fussy. Martha Graham, Martha Graham, Martha Graham.
Exactly.
Twyla.
No, the head's got to be like this, Sibelius. Like Gilly just.
Like this, Sibelius.
Producers.
Daddy, watch me twirl.
Birdcage.
Yeah.
Birdcage.
Well, that one's Birdcage. I was thinking producers. The step kick with. Yep.
I meant a little daddy watch me twirl at the end.
That's
there
right.
for good
Daddy
measure.
watch me twirl. Daddy watch me twirl.
That's right. That's right.
Except for Sibelius is saying, "Daddy watch me twirl."
That's right.
Daddy wants
Gilly.
to twirl.
Daddy is in the blade.
I'm just
He's
picturing.
twirling.
Watch
Wow.
Daddy twirl.
Now I'm picturing him. It's like
Happy Pride
he-
Month.
That's
he's
right,
a
Happy Pride Month.
maniac, and he's got the sweat things on the legs. you
Yeah.
know?
All that hair coming up.
And I'm using precipitation to make his hair bigger.
Yeah, it's canon. That's exactly how it is.
Yes.
And I kind of lean over and adjust this. They won't miss us.
And-
We'll be back.
indeed.
I use my dancing. I take my dancing lights and I put them all together, and they look like a disco ball. Yes.
He's a maniac on the floor.
And of course, he ends it with the good old, reaching.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh my
There,
God.
he pulls the chain and leans back on the chair, and the water comes pouring out of the ceiling onto him,
That's right.
as is standard in all homes in Foggy Bottom. That's installed in the study.
Sure is.
Said Happy Pride.
The ceiling bucket.
This is what we learned at the school.
School for sex work blade singing.
That's right. That's right.
AKA Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, no.
No. No.
Okay.
I'm ready for whatever checks you have us do.
Are you
No, I can fully expect that we're gonna get jumped and then we're gonna die.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, wow.
And if this is not a half-hour thing, Matt, we can push it off.
It's well, we'll see how it goes. You make out for the emerald tendrils in the north. It's actually the northeast. I'm remembering now. It's more northeasterly, on the northeast part of Foggy Bottom, for the vineyard frozen in time. Making your way past the vineyard, traveling more north, kind of bending around more northwest, getting around the swamp. That makes it so difficult to travel around here. You kind of have to go where the roads lead because the rest is swamp. Nice. Go ahead, and you eventually start to arrive on a place where there are these kind of dilapidated estates, fallen guardhouses, fallen structures, pavilions, etc., which are charred and broken and have these paths and scars of fire, scorched earth all throughout, obviously the site of a great war. Go ahead and roll stealth with your pass without a trace, as you said. Oh, that's a nice little globe. Oh, Pride World. Oh, neat. I have a Crowan Pride emote. There you go. What were your results? You get a plus 10 from pass without a trace.
35.
Oh, man, you beat me. That's not fair. 26 plus 7 puts me at 33.
Okay. Incredible stealth rolls. You are able to make your way as you see this kind of... it looks like a very beautiful mansion, but on the outer wall and the approach, there's this kind of fountain. And there is an outer wall in front of that fountain that says, that denotes that it is a schoolhouse. The name of the family that it belonged to is actually not important for our purposes here, but it is nonetheless a school. It was a school for bards, for singers.
What is it? Is there an obvious effect of it being frozen in time? Is there like a shimmering wall a la Annihilation?
Yeah, so as you look, so the whole area is frozen in time. So as you look over to the fountain, perhaps, you would notice that the water is not moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all frozen in time. There is these beautiful kind of, well, they used to be quite beautiful, but they're a bit scarred now. Landscape features, patches of beautiful grass with trees extending out from them, and towards kind of the back of the school, meeting it on its sides, is what is obviously a hedge maze.
Perhaps we should take an aerial view.
What kind of birds have I seen out here?
The ones that you've seen are these perhaps tiny little, there are not many. Maybe the one that you've seen is tiny little hummingbirds and things like that. Seen a lot of spiders. There's a lot of spiders in Swamp Country. Huge ones too. And the birds are all frozen in the air.
Oh, so like a flying bird would be uh, a problem. Um, okay. I'm not entirely sure how we would get an aerial view without tipping off anybody that was watching. But you're not wrong.
I could turn into fog. A little puff of fog.
That works.
And
However,
visibility.
everything.
Yep, and I can you could cast invisibility or whatever. Oh yeah. Oh, Matthew's saying we could just cast invisibility and fly as normal. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Either or, I'm just saying invisibility helps hiding in plain sight.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And just so I'm clear as the player, since it has been a few weeks, are we able to move through the zone of frozen time with impunity, or if like we enter there, we will also have any
You've been
problems?
moving through the area of frozen time this whole time. When you were in the vineyard, when you were in the tower, it's all frozen.
Perfect.
It's time that's frozen. When you were there, it was bad. Like if you were there when the whole thing was frozen, yeah, you were fucked. But just entering it now, it's just eerie.
Understood.
I think I really like that track. Actually, I'm gonna go back to that. That's still on the first one. Okay.
Things I forget after not playing. I have all sorts of invisibility.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll take our time, ask our questions, and do our thing. You know, we're cool. Ain't no reason to rush.
Yeah.
You and I both have forms that can attain flight, and if it is getting close to dusk, of course, my cloak enables me to fly.
It's always dusk here.
Perfect. I love this place. We're never leaving it.
Okay. Then, provided I think we're safe where we're at, I will go ahead and drop Pass Without a Trace and cast a 3rd level invisibility on the two of us. Hold concentration on it, and then turn myself into a oh, it's gonna have the best movement here.
A peregrine falcon. They're the fastest creature on Earth.
Well, just deciding if I want to be a tiny hawk or a big eagle. So probably just a tiny hawk, so that I can disturb the least amount possible.
Okay. So you and Justice, are you staying in your form, flying with the cloak?
If we're going invisible, then I see no need to change, and I will use my key point to cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay. It's still maintained on you. Oh.
No, because I had to drop concentration to add. Yeah. Nice.
So you're shooting off into the air, and where are you going? Are you staying in front of the school, trying to go around it, flying through the hedge maze?
So I want to see if we can get a good view of the roof of the school. Is there any entry point where we could get in quietly from the top, or windows in the sides? And then what that hedge maze looks like, and just with everything frozen in time, is there anything moving?
Go ahead and roll me perception check.
Okay.
As you're staying in front of the school, it sounds like.
And I will aid her in that check.
I already have advantage on it.
Okay.
Sentinel shield.
And keen sight is a hawk. You always have advantage on perception checks too.
Nice. Oh yeah, you wouldn't be wielding a shield as a hawk.
Yeah.
A little, just holding it, a tiny one in the.
I mean, I could. That's how wild shape works. So that'll be a 15 plus 10, so 25.
Good. Yeah, there is what appears to be a tiny little, I wouldn't call it tiny, but not massive, an astronomy-like tower in the back left that has a access window that actually appears to be cracked open. There are windows adorning the front of the building, and there seems to be a very, very small window to the right side. So you have your astronomy tower in the back left and windows out front. Okay. And there's probably windows throughout the building, but yeah, it's basically a manor. So.
And and it's frozen in time, so it doesn't look dilapidated. The roof isn't going to fall in. Okay.
Yeah. As far as things moving, doesn't appear to be anything moving in there that you can see from where you're at.
Awesome. And you said that tiny window's on the right-hand side of the building. Perfect.
Yep. There's a I don't. What do you call those small circular windows? The kind you find on ships. There's a
Like a
name.
Like portholes.
Porthole. Thank you. Yeah.
And
there's
then,
the astronomy tower. Yep.
and then
Perfect.
what can we see of the shape and size of the hedge maze?
Oh, it seems to be pretty large, covering, I would say, half acre. It's pretty huge.
And does it have that center circle in it, where it's kind of like a square hedge maze with a circle in the middle?
That's a good question. I do not believe so.
Or is it just one entrance in, one entrance out on each end? Yep.
Headphones died.
Yeah. I'm surprised mine last. These last surprisingly long, considering I have them on for like 8 hours while I'm working, and then I do this for 4 hours usually. So
Nice.
yeah,
Mine have literally never ran out of batteries.
yeah. That's why I want to see what the hedge maze looks like. Ooh boy.
All right, I can hear you. Sorry, my headset died. It's been battery's been a bit on the rough side since I've been using it so much.
It's all good. Yeah, maybe we can pay some extra attention and dedicate some flight to that hedge mage, depending on how much time we have left on the invisibility.
Maze.
Hedge
Um,
mage, mage, the hedge mage.
It's not a person.
it's an acre at least.
Very,
Um,
very
We're
different
almost done,
things.
So let's that be the last thing that we do, so that we can fly into because the maze is part of the time distortion, right?
Yeah, it's within it.
Okay. So it sounds like we've been kind of skirting the edges and been able to see all of this without going into it. Let's let that be kind of the last thing we do before going back out.
And would it be possible to have used Gladiosa's detect magic at any point to try? I know that we were trying to see if there was any magical defenses, like kind of like a, scanning.
Fly over and scan in the front of the schoolhouse. Yeah, there are illusion magics present.
Perfect.
There is detect magic, right? Illusion magic. Yep.
In the front of the school. Got it.
When you get closer to the hedge maze, there seems to be abjuration and conjuration. Right. That's all you detect in front of that. Yep. Oh, evocation. Sorry, evocation, not abjuration. Evocation.
Okay.
And conjuration. Yep.
Evocation. Got it. Perfect.
Things you want to do, Justice?
That was it for that. I think, yeah, we were trying to get a lay of the land, figure out magical defenses, and then really scope out the maze.
Okay. Alrighty then. So are you all done doing reconnaissance?
So the last thing, if we were uninterrupted throughout all of that and we didn't see any movement, anything that would be tipping us off, I would want to try, if we still thought that was an okay idea, I would want to try to do, and I would just go ahead and cast it. Why am I blanking? Commune with nature.
Oh, okay. And what three things are you asking?
So fiends, undead, and then influence from other planes of existence. And I'll take the 3 miles that it has, but I'm specifically looking at that building and the hedge maze now that I know it's there.
Yeah. So you get about 50 pings of fiends and undead. Powerful source that seems to be centered in the library itself. Or excuse me,
You said
school.
50?
Yeah,
50?
50 fiends and undead. Through the hedgement, like within the 3 mile radius, casting out.
Okay.
Nice.
And you said most of that was in the library and the hedge maze?
The hedge maze and sorry, not library, but the school map I'm using it for is technically library, but I'm using
That's
it for
okay.
the school and the powerful sources coming from the school. There's a lot more in the school and within the library.
Or the hedge
Or excuse
maze.
me, the
Okay.
hedge maze, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then influence from other planes, yeah, you definitely pick up influence from the ethereal plane.
Can I tell where it's centered?
It seems to be more so centered in the somewhere beyond the maze that you cannot see.
Somewhere
Beyond the
beyond
maze.
the maze.
Ooh, we get to play with the hedge maze.
That's where the disturbance of the ethereal plane mostly is.
Okay. Are there any other planes that are influencing this area, or is it just the ethereal plane?
There's definitely some Dice Angela, aka Hell presence here. Not like, it's there, but it's not like a rift or anything. Nothing actionable.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then was there a buildings question or?
No, it was just I have 3, so fiends,
Two
undead,
types, one
and
thing, yeah.
the other planes of existence, and it's a very broad other planes of existence.
Right.
So it doesn't make me pick just one.
two types of creature playing existence. Got it.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
You're able to do that.
Okay.
Wow.
So if we're still within our hour of invisibility and pass without a trace, do we want to see if we can follow to the other side of this half acre? Because with a fly speed of 60, we should, between the two of us, we can get over to the other side of that half acre and see if that plane of existence has a building that it's centered on.
Your invisibility would have dropped when you cast Commune with Nature.
Yeah, but I could put it back up.
Yeah. We go to a little nook. Yeah, of course.
That's the thing about not fighting in an episode is you pretty much have all the magic, and so it makes stuff like this different in D&D.
For sure.
Overpowered. That's the word I'm looking for.
It was the action for it. So where are you going?
I want to see if I can pinpoint where that seep over from the ethereal plane is on the other side of the maze.
Okay.
And if we have to go around it to avoid detection, I'm okay with that.
I don't mean anything trying to detect you per se.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
The big question is, are you flying over the maze or are you trying to fly around it?
What do you think? It's not that big of a deal. It's an extra mile to go around it. We would be fine with our resources to do so within our time frame.
Then let us fly around it if we're exercising caution. Justice would be cautious. So we're in stealth mode.
I will re-invisibilize us and I will turn back into a hawk.
And I will pass without a trace us again if an hour has passed.
You take that extra mile flying around. The hedge maze looks pristinely still from the outside. You see that the maze is so large that there are even smaller pavilions and little, tiny little, not quite, structures, not proper buildings that people live in or anything, but structures, place podiums, gathering spots, things like that. It's a real fixture of the school here. And you spend the extra time flying around it, getting a few extra glimpses to what's within, and you eventually come around to the end where the maze seems to empty. It empties out into a forum, a stone forum.
And that's where I feel that the ethereal plane was closest. Okay.
It's a beautiful stone forum, but it has this kind of interesting way in which moss kind of grows over the places where people sit and might rest their bodies, providing some level of comfort. There are these kind of vines that stretch up the pillars in the back, and there's a single beautiful podium in the middle where speakers may speak from.
And
There's a kind of almost on the bottom of the well. There's on the far side from where people would be sitting. There's a kind of raised stage-like platform where people might perform.
what kind of magic can we detect here?
Yeah.
You use detect magic.
Yeah.
It has a range of 60 feet. So unless you're going into the forum,
Yeah, we could like kind of soar down over it as we fly away. Pew, 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 pew.
As you kind of fly in and fly by, you don't detect any magic.
There's none.
Okay, so, and this is where that ethereal place felt, right? Okay. Would you be okay with me taking a step into this hedge maze and flying over into the time stop portion of it so that we can see if there's more to see?
So as you fly in and do your flyby, is it the both of you doing it or just one?
I have the detect magic beam, so I know it would be at least me.
Right.
I probably wouldn't leave him. So
Oh yeah, because she's got to
both
stay
of us.
within range for the pass without trace. So then yeah.
Makes sense. So as you're both flying by, kind of doing this within 60 feet above the ground kind of sweep, you start to fly over the forum, and as you pass through, kind of exiting on the other side, you smack into a pure wall of force. And as you look around you, you realize that you are in the hedge maze.
We're in the hedge maze, like
The maze has seemed to have grown around the forum now, and is extended beyond its original barrier. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Woo!
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck.
Yep.
So do you have dimension door? Is that gonna work? Did you pack that?
I did not pack Dimension Door. I do not have
She
that
has
one.
that spell, yeah.
Doesn't have that one.
Yeah,
Well,
nope.
Something else in for it.
Nope, I've got Plane Shift, but not packed. I didn't pack Plane Shift.
I love this. I love
Did
this.
I just want to know, do we know where you all went?
Yeah, we told you.
Yes, we told
Stop.
you. You were distracted while you were dancing.
Whether or not you heard
Yeah.
He's a maniac, man. That's when we told you.
Yeah.
Gilly was distracted. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't be? Okay, and
Are
this
we
is why you never do reconnaissance.
Are we still invisible, or did our invisibility drop when the hedge mage grew around us?
You'd still be invisible.
Okay, so we're still
We're just-
invisible.
Being hunted by ethereal creatures, invisible ethereal creatures chasing us
Yep.
through the maze.
And have I been pushed out of wild shape? Excuse me.
Nothing else. You just hit an invisible wall and the maze going around the floor.
Okay, so we flew in and then tried to fly out, and we hit the wall of force.
Yep.
Gotcha.
No.
Can you become a minotaur?
No, they're humanoids.
Damn,
I cannot.
Polymorph.
polymorph into a
Polymorph
minotaur.
as beasts.
But I think the
Polymorph.
last
If you.
time.
Oh wait, no, not even. Well.
Minotaurs aren't beasts. They're humanoids.
Right. I'm thinking not even true polymorph could do that, could it?
True polymorph could. You'd become just a common minotaur.
Oh, okay.
Polymorph is just beast. True polymorph is any creature.
You become the
No.
John. You become the John Smith of minotaurs.
Well, I can look over at Justice. At least we know what the evocation is now.
Or
Yes.
yourself, you could become a minotaur, right?
Correct. It's a
There
wall
you
of
go.
force. That's the evocation.
Hi, Fluff.
I found the evocation magic.
Found it.
Thank you, Gladiosa.
Good job.
Wonderful. Well, that was fun, Matthew. It's good to be back in the saddle. It's good to have a nice low-stress stream after we're shaking the dust off.
Sorry, to make it a little higher stress. Not my intention, but
For our 2-year stream anniversary.
Great.
Yeah.
Stream anniversary.
exciting stuff. I think that the addition of Ginger sitting there with her head resting upon you has been the best addition to this stream.
It sure
Mhm.
has.
It's delightful.
Yeah. The ginger couch.
So
Chris, you did a grand job on stream. It was a lot of fun. It's great to see you.
What did you
oh
say?
yeah, no, that cats
Chris.
game was fantastic.
Oh, Chris. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking
Hi.
to one of us. I'm like, you realize none of our names are Chris, right?
You know what? I would have passed him to not realize that.
Hey, what are you doing?
Setting in.
It's been so long, I've forgotten all of your names.
I remember your face.
Jason's called me each of your names, so already it's where it is.
So well. I am the couch DM. This allows me to hang out with my dog. It's
It looks like you're just holding your arms up. You're just
Yeah, I love it.
you're T-posing
He's
to assert
T-posing.
dominance over the camera.
That's right.
Can you imagine like the leg strength required to like just make yourself a chair?
Correct.
Incredible calf.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you, Matthew.
That's right.
You're very
Everything.
strong individual.
His thighs are just like cables of steel.
Yeah.
Heels.
Correct.
Yeah. I
Correct.
flew in.
And his arms are killing him. Glorious.
Eyes are watery. Yeah, it was fun. It was great to be back. We'll see what the future holds. Of course, we totally want to respect the health of our creators here and not injure anyone. Who knows? Maybe once I get past behind these two big projects I have going on, we'll maybe put out something else together. But yeah, this is been great to be back for this a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And I don't know. Should we do
Jesus.
our
Got
outros
my
here?
earbuds. I can't hear.
You know, like favorite moments.
Well, Matthew can't hear us right now, so
Oh.
No, not at all. So we could literally say anything we want to
I
about
can hear
him.
you now.
Matt is the best
Oh,
DM
God.
ever.
He is the best DM ever.
I love my shirt buddy.
Oh yeah, Rob and I are shirt buddies this week, aren't we?
Yep.
I
Yep.
forgot about that.
Huh.
Bye. I'm alone.
I got dressed first.
We all are ultimately. Morgan
Strangely
was
enough,
right.
I was wearing the same top as Alexis earlier. It's like one of us is gonna have to
This
change.
is a dress. This is a dress.
It would be like more of like a, I don't know what it would be on me. It would be less dressful. It'd be like
It would
an
still-
oversized tank top on me.
Not
still
to
be
bring
a
this
dress.
back around, but if you buy 2 shirts over at So Nerdwear, you could get 2 of our shirts, one of them 40% off.
Nice.
Your
running a
shirt
thing
buddy
right
can
now.
have shirts.
Yeah, one for you,
That's
one
right.
for your shirt buddy.
It's
That's
Pride.
right.
It's Pride Month, but it is also Pride 24/7 on here on Dice Prairie because I'm gay.
That's right.
Correct. I would love to get a tunic from So Nerdwear.
And Chase is gay after 2 beers, so
2 beers. It only takes 1 for me.
yeah.
I mean, somebody has to be the glue to keep this group marriage going, and that's me.
But yeah, check out So Nerdwear and hit that up. We have a gay summons demon design. We have a romanceable NPC as seen here.
We
right.
really are, Emma. We're very gay here.
Yeah, we're all gay. Here.
We're all
I
good.
mean, this weekend we're going to be on the Big Gay Road Trip, so it's going to be fun.
Tell us about that.
Oh, so I'm running, I will start our outros here. I'm running community theater, and Oliver's going to join us. And we are going to be running a Big Gay Road Trip by Rose Artemis, part of the Fraudulent Gaze Jam. And we're going to be taking our adventures on a journey across the U.S., I think. And they are going to walk through a number of scenes, but it's completely combat free, so very different than most of the TTRPGs that you see played here and elsewhere. But if you like high fantasy, the following week we'll be doing a Blue Rose system. So if you like D&D but want to try a different system, that's a good one to start with. So you can go sign up for that still. I think I've got 2 spots available.
Woo!
Yeah. And I'm so excited for this weekend. The 3 players that I've got this weekend are amazing. Don't want to put any pressure, but the artwork is amazing so far. And I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. And I forgot that June was Pride Month. And so this just kind of lines up perfectly with everything going on. So we're here for it.
Yeah.
Do we have a favorite moment? A favorite moment from tonight's 2 hours. We're really sidetracked and we're doing great. And I think that's just awesome. I'm glad we got to play tonight. So all of it is my favorite moment because I can't choose and I'm indecisive.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I'm Chase. You can find me on Twitter at Chase314S, where I'm not super active. I post my random musings. Recently, I saw a girl in our town, our community, walking her dog, and she was wearing either a cloak or a cape. It was hard to tell. I couldn't tell if there was a headpiece to it, but she was living her best life. Yeah, you can also find me on all of our socials, where I post dank D&D memes every single day. Like Matthew, I have some projects that are wrapping up soon, so I'll be able to start re-diverting my attention back to some of the Dice Prairie projects that I have going on. And yeah, favorite moment for the evening, man. I mean, we were all having quite a bit of a time with the whole dancing and the he's a maniac. I think that was pretty fun. And then, of course, any day that I can be a shirt buddy with Matthew is a good day for me. I live for shirt buddies. That's me.
Hi, all right, brings us to me again. I'm Alexis. You can find me at VoxFinato. I am a little out of form right now because, like I said before, dealing with some health concerns, health issues. So I'm a little sporadic on the streaming end right now, but I'm still doing overlays every week for community theater. And like Liz said, the one for this week for a big gay road trip is very gay. So get ready.
I'm here for it. So
I like it. It's very road trip and it's very gay. So get ready. That's me. My favorite moment was Civilius and the True Sight dance. That was it. It was my favorite. I loved it, and it's everything that I needed today. So thank you everybody for being here, and I'm really happy that was celebrating 2 years of streaming. Happy Pride.
So Rob at Parameter 804. Oh god, favorite moment. It was all fantastic. Like I love the sword thing. I love Matt's drawing skills. I love that it was our 2-year anniversary. The stealth and the end of getting caught in the maze and having to wait a week to figure out how the Justice and Selena die in a maze is gonna bother me.
We didn't die the last time we ran off together. It was fine. We just set a castle on fire.
There's a first time for everything.
But yeah, it was all fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching us over these 2 years. It's been a ride. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I can only think of a few people I would rather be streaming with.
I can only think of a few dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Maybe it's easier to name the people that you wouldn't rather be streaming with.
Chase.
Been watching Hannibal Lecter seems pretty bad, so I wouldn't want to stream with him.
He seems like he'd metagame.
Yeah, he would. He would. He's a little pusher. So
that is the problematic aspect of playing with Hannibal.
It is. Okay, so I am Matthew Foreman. You can find me here on Twitch TV/Dice Priority and in our Discord on Dice Priority. I have a Twitter at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I don't really tweet there anymore, but you can follow me on there to keep maybe I'll post big announcements every now and then. Other than that, this Friday I'm streaming, running D&D on Big Boy Season for 9:30 p.m. at CDT here on Twitch TV/Dice Priory. And we are, oh, thank you for the 100 bits, Chris. And then that'll be our last Friday with Big Boy Season. We're moving Big Boy Season to Monday, starting Monday the 29th. So you'll see us on the 19th, and then you won't see us again until the Monday the 29th at 9:30 p.m. CDT for Big Boy Season. And it's going to be Mondays from thereafter to accommodate one of our players changing board schedule. And it lets one of our other players watch the summer split for League, so it works out for everyone. I think that's all the announcements that I can announce. There's going to be, I can at least tease though, that Dice DP is partnering with someone for somewhere for a big stream coming up for a fundraiser, and that's all I can say right now. But it's real soon. It's like next week, but we just haven't announced it. But it's big, so just keep a lookout in our socials and stuff for that. I'm literally getting DM'd the graphics for it, so keep on lookout. Things are happening. Okay, my favorite moment. Yeah, I think the whole school and then the dance thing just made me laugh. But it was just great to be back. I love running for you all. It's a great game, so thanks so much. Guess we'll raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chromatic Chimera's up. Soul Bear is up.
Let's raid
We
Chromatic
never
Chimera.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to do that very often.
I think
Usually
they're
they
on
rate
their
us.
season finale too, I think.
Ooh.
Yes,
spell?
they are. That's a year in the making.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for
thanks
the
for following.
follow,
Did I
Gold
get that? I
Films.
didn't get that right. Is someone setting up the raid? I could do it.
I can do it. I got
Oh,
it.
thanks, Rob.
I got you, fam.
Thank you. We're only like 3 people from 800 followers, so follow our Twitch.
Yeah.
Support Asada's daughters. Thank you so much. Happy Pride, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Love y'all.